Hey guys, Dave here. I'm out here in Pox's pen, and she's just over here eating out of frame here. I'm going to talk with you guys about a little more serious topic here when it comes to raising piglets, something that we're experiencing for the first time here. But before we do, if you would, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'd love to bring you guys more content in the future. And if you guys are into our content, if you like what we're doing out here, please share our videos, guys, across your social media. It really helps us grow, and we can't grow without your support. So we really appreciate you guys. Anyways, what I want to talk about here a little bit is this female piglet that we have over here in the hay. And she's just snuggling in to get a little bit of warmth. We've had some cold out here comparatively. We had 100 and... I think we got close to 100 down in the valley. I think it was 90, 98 or something like that was the peak. That's hot for North Idaho. So we had the past week a lot of heat roll through, and then the last 2 days we really dipped down in temperature, especially at night. I don't know what the lows were, but it was probably down into the low 50s. And so last night the piglets got pretty cold. They've been kind of huddling together today to stay warm. Okay, so anyways, guys, what we've got here that we need to discuss today is we've got a female piglet here from Pox's litter, and she's fat, she's healthy, she's a little cold because we've had the storms rolling through here in a bit of cold weather. So she's just in here trying to stay warm, but unfortunately, guys, she's developed what's called an umbilical hernia. Now, having never raised pigs before, it's not something I had ever encountered, and so I had to do some research. So my knowledge on this is just anecdotal. It's just what I've done research on over the internet, so I have no... as a kind of disclaimer there, I have no first-hand knowledge of how to deal with this, but I have done research, and what I found is there seems to be a few different reasons why these can develop, and some of that goes to genetics, some of that goes to environment, and there's kind of a lot of, I guess, ideas as to why that has happened. Studies, things of that nature, but I had not seen anything conclusive, at least, as to the exact reason why it happens. It seems to be that it can be a number of issues. But what happens from my research is that bacteria will develop around the umbilical after birth and cause an issue with the healing around the umbilical cord, where the abdomen walls don't fully close, and that'll cause the intestines to hang out of the abdominal wall. And so we're doing that here with this piglet. Now, reason we're talking to you guys about it is we'd love to, those of you that have experience with umbilical hernias, we'd love for you guys to share your information, maybe your thoughts on it, and how you would proceed with something of this nature. I am considering culling at this point. I'd hate to have to do that because I did do some research, and it seems like you can effectively grow them out. But there are some issues through research where, at least commercially, market value is reduced when you grow them out with an umbilical hernia, because I guess it does affect quality of meat. Not too bad from my research. It's still edible meat, clearly, but it does affect commercially market value. Now, these aren't commercial pigs, so I mean, I'd still consider growing her out for personal, for our family's meat, if that's something that the consensus kind of takes over and says would be something that we should do. But right now, it's just it's an issue that we're, I guess, going to sleep on and see how it goes from there. Let me see if I can get her up without screaming too much and show you a little bit what we're dealing with. So if you can see there, I just woke her up so she's going to scream a lot. All right, Piggy. All right. All right. Let's go get some water. So yeah, guys, it is a consideration to cull at this point. I'm interested to hear some of you guys with more experience on the topic, to hear your opinions. I hate to cull, but I'm willing to do it if that's the path we have to take. I like to give all animals a chance, you know, a fighting chance if I can. But if there's going to be no quality of life there, then obviously we don't want to continue. So. Another thing that I did see that can be an issue is if it's genetic. That's another reason we don't want to pass off those genetics if it's bad genetics. So these piglets came from a boar that does not belong to me, and they were just surprise piglets. So if it's not something that where there's good genetics involved and it's an issue and we're going to spread this into our line, that's not something I want to do. So again, just trying to do some research, find out exactly what we should do. We'll sleep on it, pray on it, and come back and take a look at your comments and maybe decide from there. Another thing I wanted to ask you guys about is practices at birth. I did see a study that showed that perhaps, and she's going to go wander off over here and look for a bit of food. She's a friendly piglet. So, where you going, piglet? Where you going, piglet? So yeah, and another study I saw, guys, that I was curious about your guys' practices at birth was that the study found that they took a sampling of piglets and they treated the piglets' umbilical cords at birth. They actually tied a knot in the umbilical cords and then treated the piglets. And that test batch did better than the batch that they didn't do any aftercare for on the umbilicals. And so I was just curious if you guys think that might be something in the future that we should implement into our practices here, whether or not you guys that do have experience with pigs, whether or not you tie off umbilical cords at birth, things of that nature. Just, you know, I'd love to hear some thoughts and comments in regards to that. I thought that was an interesting study that was kind of, I guess, in their eyes conclusive, but I think what I read was that they didn't think the sample size was large enough or something like that to be fully conclusive. So I don't know exactly. Anyways, I'm hoping we can give her a fighting chance and she makes it and is able to grow out and live I guess a good quality of life here on the ranch. Alright, yeah, so anyways, guys, I'm just going to hang out here with Pox and her piglets here for a little while and just kind of watch them. I have a good time spending time with all the animals out here, so I'll spend a little bit of time with them. Anyways, guys, if you would, hit that like button for me, hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber, and hit that notification bell. Leave us a comment as always, guys. We always try and respond back to everybody's comments, and we really love reading your comments. And if you guys like our content, please consider sharing our videos. It really helps us grow, and that's frankly the only way we can grow, so is with your support. So thanks again, guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on the next one.